Hello, sports fans. We are ready for Championship Sunday in the league where they play for pay. And let's get right to it. Let's get to the AFC Championship game. This is the second game on Sunday, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. The New England Patriots at home, -5.5 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. New England beats Houston, didn't play well but pulled away late. Pittsburgh hangs on and beats Kansas City 18-16. Pittsburgh made this game way more difficult than it should have been. Pittsburgh was inside the Kansas City 30-yard line like 7 times in this game. Couldn't score a touchdown. They settled for 6 field goals. I thought some of the play calling by Pittsburgh down at the goal line was atrocious. The first drive of the game, Pittsburgh is running the ball right down Kansas City's throat. They have a 2nd and 2 from the 5-yard line. What do? 2nd and 3rd down, they throw the ball. Incomplete, have to settle for a field goal. That was a prelude of things to come. Roethlisberger on 1st down from the 5 throws an interception in the end zone. It was field goal after field goal for Pittsburgh. They were moving the ball up and down the field. They kept Kansas City in the game. So Pittsburgh, typical road game from them. If that was a home game, Pittsburgh would have scored 40 points. They're not as explosive on the road. They settle for way too many field goals. I know the Kansas City Chiefs fans are very upset, the players, the coaches. When it was 18-16, after Kansas City scored a touchdown, they went for the 2-pointer and got it. Questionable holding call on the outside. Had to redo the 2-pointer. They didn't get it. Pittsburgh runs out the clock, and that's the end of the game. I would rather focus on Kansas City not playing well than that call. I really would, because Kansas City, to me, played an awful game. They got pushed around this whole game. Pittsburgh moved the ball up and down the field. Kansas City missed a lot of chances on offense to do some things. A million drop passes, bad penalties, personal fouls. I thought Kansas City played a bad game, so I would rather focus on that than that questionable call at the end of the game. As far as this game, New England at home, -5.5 against Pittsburgh. I think this is an impossible spot for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They never win in New England, going back to when Cowher coached. This has been a house of horror for the Steelers. Like I just said, the Steelers on the road, not as explosive as they are at home. And here's what really scares me from a Steeler perspective. The Patriots didn't play well last week, and they still won by almost 20. And Belichick, after the game, told the team, you better play better next week or you're not going to win. You don't think New England's going to bring their A game this week? You best be sure New England will be on top of their game, especially after that video that surfaced. Why Brown for the Steelers is releasing a video of Tomlin talking about, the Patriots and how they have an extra day and a half to prepare. Why he would want to do that and give the Patriots bulletin board material is beyond me. But put that aside, the Patriots are going to be on their A game. They did not play well at all last week. They had a bunch of turnovers. I think they are going to be on point this week. I think Brady is going to play a really good game. As much as the Steeler defense has improved, I don't think they're ready to go into New England and stop the Patriots. I just don't. I have to like New England here. I'm going to take the Patriots. I will probably play it in a money line myself, so I'll take the Patriots straight up there in a money line. But I'd also like them in a teaser, moving it to even. I would probably even like them -5.5. I think the Patriots are getting back to the Super Bowl. I think this is an impossible spot for the Steelers. I think New England is going to be on point this week. The scary thing, like I said, is they didn't play well last week, and they still won by almost 20. Look for them to play great this week. I like the Patriots. That's pick number 1. Pick number 2, let's go to the NFC Championship game down in Atlanta, where the Atlanta Falcons are -4.5 against the Green Bay Packers. Atlanta beat Seattle. They were down early in this game 10-7. Seattle actually ran back a kick, but they called it back. Would have made it 17-7 Seattle. From that point on, Atlanta exploded. That offense is just impossible to contain, especially at home. Matt Ryan looks awesome this year. He played great. How good is Julio Jones as a receiver? He's not even 100%. He's just a tremendous receiver. Atlanta's offense is one of the best in the league. We know they can do it on offense. If they get any sort of defense at all, they can beat anyone. And they get a home game, Atlanta. And why they get a home game? Because the Green Bay Packers go into Dallas and beat the Cowboys 34-31 in one of the wildest, woolliest, crazy games of the whole season. What a great game this was. I hope you guys watched this game. This was one of the best games of the year. First of all, Green Bay gets off to a 21-3 start. I mean, they were off and running. They were flying. Dallas cuts into the lead. It's 21-13 at the half. Green Bay scores right in the beginning of the third quarter. It's 28-13. Green Bay. Then Prescott throws an interception. You're like, wow, Dallas is in huge trouble here. They're down 15. They just threw a pick. Rodgers makes one of his few mistakes. He throws a pick right back. Then the game gets completely wild. 28-13 Green Bay. Dallas comes rallying all the way back to tie it. Prescott with a 2-point conversion. We're tied at 28. Green Bay goes down the field, and Crosby hits a 56-yard field goal to make it 31-28, a clutch kick. What does Dallas do? They come right back, and Bailey hits a 52-yard to tie it 31-31. Now, I know I'm nitpicking here. On that drive, when Dallas got into Green Bay territory, they spiked the ball on first down. They had 2 timeouts left. I would have called a timeout there and not wasted the down. I don't like wasting downs there. I would have been more aggressive. I would have called timeout, and I would have gone for the win. You have 3 downs there to work with. When they spiked it, they did save a timeout, but then you only have 2 downs to do anything with. 2 downs to get a first down. What happens? They throw a 7-yard pass out of bounds. Then on 3rd down, they get a pass deflected at the line. They have to kick the field goal on 3rd down. I would not have done that. I would have called the timeout. Then you have 3 downs to play with, and you still have a timeout for the field goal. I would have not spiked the ball there. I do not like spiking the ball when you don't have to. Get up to the line and get a play in there. I know I'm nitpicking. I'm probably in the minority there, but that's what I would have done. So Dallas has to settle for a field goal there, and they also leave Green Bay time on the clock. And when you leave any time for Rodgers, I don't care where he is on the field, he can do something. So we got 35 seconds left. Green Bay has the ball. Rodgers actually takes a sack. It's amazing he held on to the ball. You thought for sure that ball was coming out. I would have liked to have seen the Dallas defender there swipe that ball out like Lawrence Taylor or Bruce Smith would have done. Just swipe that ball out. I know it's risky because if you miss, Rodgers could end up making a big play. But I would have liked him to see, swipe that ball out there. As it is, it's amazing Rodgers still held on to the ball. He took a blindsided shot and still held on to the ball. Green Bay has a 3rd and 20 in their own territory, and then Rodgers does his magic. He rolls out left, looks like he's going to launch it downfield. He doesn't. He pump fakes, and then he hits Cook on the sidelines, and it's just an unbelievable throw, pinpoint throw, and what a job by Cook. Not only securing the catch, but keeping his feet in bounds. I didn't think there was any way he got his feet down, and he sure did. And Cook had dropped some easy passes in the game. I could not believe they converted there. Then what does Crosby do? Crosby hits a 51-yard field goal, but Dallas calls timeout, which I can't stand, by the way. I wish they would just make the coaches call timeout a little before. There's nothing worse when you're watching a game than see a kick go through, and then Joe Buck telling you, wait, they called a timeout. I cannot stand that. Be that as it may, first kick went through. Dallas did call a timeout in time. That's the rule. Crosby has to re-kick it. 51-yarder is good. I thought for sure it was going left, but it curved back in. What a tremendous clutch kick by Crosby. Not once, not twice, but 3 clutch kicks from outside 50 yards on the road. Tremendous. And how about Green Bay in general, and how about Rodgers? Is this not incredible what they're doing? Green Bay was 4-6 through 10 games of the season. They lost to Tennessee 47-25. Then they followed that up and lost to Washington 42-24. And I remember that week we were all bashing Green Bay's defense. We're like, this team is done. They can't stop anyone. As much as we love Rodgers, he can't do it all by himself. They patched the defense together, and Rodgers is doing his magic. Do you realize how many guys Green Bay has out of the lineup? Nelson out, Lacey out, Starks out. The whole defense has been out, and they still have managed to get to this point in the season. They go on the road and beat the best team in the NFC, a team that basically only lost to one team all year. The Dallas basically only lost to the Giants all year. I throw out the Philly game. Unbelievable job by Green Bay. Unbelievable job by McCarthy, just patching this all together. And how great is Rodgers? How amazing is he? How in the world did he fall in the draft to Green Bay? How is that even possible? Alex Smith, I know, is a decent quarterback, but how in the world was Alex Smith picked over Aaron Rodgers? I mean, what was going on in the combine? What did Aaron Rodgers not bench press 500 pounds? I mean, that's what the problem I have with the combine. It has nothing to do with football. This guy is just an awesome Hall of Fame quarterback. He's so accurate. I mean, every one of his passes is basically right on target. He's unbelievable. You leave him any time on the clock, any time on the clock, and he can beat you like he did here. And for Dallas, this is a bitter pill to swallow for the Dallas Cowboy fans. This was a punch in the gut. Since the glory years with Dallas, with Aikman, Emmett, and all the great players they had there, Michael Irvin, Dallas has either not made the playoffs or had a bitter playoff loss like this, and this was a bitter one. They just had one of these to Green Bay a couple years ago. Remember the Dez Bryant catch, no catch? Well, here we are again, another punch in the gut loss for the Cowboy fans. But I will say this, the future is bright. You have a good young quarterback. You have the good young running back. You have the good offensive line. You'll be back. Dallas should be good for years. We'll see what they do at Romo. That's the bright side. But this game must have been a punch in the gut for the Cowboy fans. They come all the way back after that horrific start, and then they lose this way. 3rd and 20. You think for sure this game's going into overtime. There's no way they're going to complete that pass on the sidelines. And sure enough, they do. And they kick the game-winning field goal. So great job by the Green Bay Packers. I can't say enough good things about Green Bay. I never thought at 4-6 they would be in the NFC Championship game. Never thought it. So as far as this game, the Atlanta Falcons at home -4.5 against Green Bay. Remember, these teams played early in the year in Atlanta. Atlanta held on at 1. To me, this is going to be a shootout. Both offenses are going to score a lot of points. It comes down to who will have the ball last. That's basically how I see this game. Me personally, I am going to take Atlanta in the money line. I think Atlanta at home is going to get through. Now, I know I'm a glutton for punishment because I went against Green Bay last week and they beat me. I'm going to go on Atlanta here. I like them at home. Matt Ryan's been awesome. I still don't love that Green Bay defense. I still don't. I still think it's going to come back to bite them at some point in the year. It hasn't yet, but I'm going to go against them here again. I'm going to take Atlanta. I think it's a shootout. Whoever has the ball last, I definitely give Green Bay a chance. Money line, I'll take Atlanta. Teaser, you want to take Green Bay with 10.5? Couldn't argue with you. You want to take Green Bay with 4.5? Couldn't argue with you. Want to take Green Bay straight up? I couldn't argue with you. But I personally think Atlanta is going to squeak this out. I think it's a 3-point game either way. I like Atlanta by 3 in like a 38-35 game. Whoever has the ball last. I'm taking Atlanta here because they're home, and I still think the Green Bay defense is going to come back to bite them at some point. Hasn't yet, but I think it's going to happen eventually. And I just love the way Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are playing. I really do. We still don't know if Nelson's going to play for Green Bay. Julio Jones, they listed as probable. He'll definitely play. He has, he's had some minor injuries recently. Julio Jones will play, and I'm sure play well. So that is a very, very interesting game. But I like the Atlanta Falcons there in the NFC Championship game. So that is pick number 2. So there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. We should have 2 tremendous games this week. Should be a lot of fun. I will make my Super Bowl pick next week. I know we have that 2-week break in between the Super Bowl, which I can't stand, but I will make my pick next week, regular time, Tuesday. I know everyone will wait probably like for a day or 2 before the Super Bowl to make their picks. I'll make my pick next Tuesday. Keep it right on schedule here. So I'll make my Super Bowl pick next Tuesday. There you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. Thanks as always for all the messages and the positive support. You guys stay happy, healthy, and safe. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Enjoy the games. Take care.